Broadcasting straight from the world's most expensive remote control. Seriously, this thing could launch a rocket. Today, we're wading into the great streaming wars. Do you have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, ESPN Normal, SEC Network, SEC Plus Network, and the rest? Have they just reinvented cable with extra steps and bigger bills? John Michael is about to unload some spicy takes on whether TV is even worth it anymore.
Very spicy.
And then we're diving headfirst into the ultimate fight. What actually makes a TV show and a movie good? Fair warning, things get heated fast. So grab your popcorn and your ex-girlfriend's parents' login. This is the All In Podcast. Bada bing, bada boom. Bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, today we're all in trying to figure out, is it worth it anymore? Gentlemen, what does your streaming library look like?
Well, I just had a major life event in my life. Mm-hmm. And no, it wasn't my wife telling me that we're expecting our fourth child. Yeah. Even bigger.
Because after two kids, it's just...
Yeah, it's just, what's another at that point, right? Kind of like a streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add them on.
You're paying for two.
Right. But we, for the very first time at 28 years old, finally bought our own streaming service.
Wow.
Now, I may or may not be sharing it with 4 of my friends for $15 a month. That involves a Venmo request on the 25th of each month.
Who gets charged?
I do. Yeah, I got the credit card points.
Do you charge everyone like $1 extra so you can make a profit?
It's called streaming tax. Yeah, streaming tax. I actually made the password, "You owe me extra." So every time they log in, that's what they have to think about.
Know. Yeah.
But the Osito family, which Caldwell's would love to hear next, we have YouTube TV, which by the way, love the multi-view for college football.
It's the best.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
Yeah. So YouTube TV, Hulu, not Hulu
Plus?
Live, but this the Hulu you get with the free Verizon package.
With ads or no ads?
With ads. It's just the movies and TV shows though.
I thought you went to private school.
Disney Plus for Bluey.
Yeah.
For the boys. And then Amazon Prime. No Apple TV right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have the NFL Red Zone add-on? Okay, well, here's the thing about the YouTube TV multi-view is that I have a very average-sized TV.
So it's just like watching 4 games on your phone.
Yeah, and it's I feel the same way about the multi-view as I do about NFL Red Zone, which is just that there's too much going on. So, anyways, YouTube TV, Disney Plus from my brother-in-law.
Nice.
Which we're visiting him this week, and so I need to re-log in on his Wi-Fi so that I can get it back at my house. We have Netflix so that we can watch.
We have Netflix. I forgot about Netflix.
Really the only thing we watch on Netflix is the sports documentaries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the SEC. I don't even remember what it's called. SEC Saturday. You know what I'm talking about? Have you guys seen this?
I do know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called. Saturday Night Live.
We just watched it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt episode was outstanding.
I think that's it. Bluey, by the way, is on YouTube. So that's what we've been doing recently as we've been logged out for my brother-in-law's Disney Plus. Is log on to just get on YouTube and watch it there.
Yeah.
So if you need to cut that because it's only Bluey, something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
How much do y'all pay for Netflix?
$8.95.
I don't pay
ads.
a cent.
With ads.
Do you use somebody else's?
Yeah. So my parents, thankfully and unthankfully, have a problem where they just don't know what streaming services they have. And so my wife and I are logged into every single streaming service through them. We pay for YouTube TV is the only one we pay for. And then my YouTube Premium 3 months free trial is about to run out.
Yeah.
So
how many emails do you have? Because that's a hack. Is on the YouTube TV. If you just make new emails,
getting new promos.
You get the 3 month, the 3 month, the 3 month.
Yeah.
Then you cancel. They offer another month free.
So how many? We all have multiple services, right? Some of us pay varying amounts. I only pay for YouTube TV. You guys pay for other stuff.
Make money.
Yeah. How many services is too many?
Well, you got to look at your budget. So one of the things we do with YouTube TV is we really only have it during football season, and that's it. Because that's the only thing we watch, and that's one of the things I'm annoyed by, is that I have to pay for this entire service. I haven't tried out the new ESPN streaming service. Do y'all have that?
No, but I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Do you get the channels or you just get the extras?
You just get the events. I think.
So if
yeah.
a game's on ABC, because ESPN has rights to ABC, it'd be shown on the ESPN.
think so.
Yeah.
Because then I don't really know the difference between ESPN Plus and then ESPN, whatever they're calling it.
ESPN Stream
Premium or something like that. So, but how much is too much? I think, probably the bigger question is how much TV is probably too much,
No.
I think that the problem, though, is the streaming services have forced our hand here.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch a show, you can't go to all the streaming services. So if I have Netflix, but Apple TV makes the show, I'm screwed. I can't watch it. Mm-hmm. So I'm either left to, and the streaming services don't want me to share my login, but they're forcing me to share my login.
I hate that.
Because now I told you about the show I like. You're not going to pay $20 a month just to watch the show. So I'm going to share my password with you because I want you to watch what I like watching.
So we can talk about it.
Exactly. Right.
I've heard people do where they just every month they pick a new streaming service to pay for.
Like streaming roulette, or they just like, oh, we'll try Netflix.
It was just like, okay, hey, there's a couple shows on Netflix you want to watch, so we'll save it to when those shows are fully released.
Interesting.
And so this month we'll pay for Apple TV to watch the Apple TV shows, and then we'll cancel at the end of the month, and then we'll hop onto Netflix for a month, so that you're not paying for everything. Now,
well, honestly, that's smart because I feel like the way that I use streaming services, what I said about YouTube TV is like I really only have it for one thing. Mm-hmm. Netflix is primarily for the football documentaries, quarterback, the SEC show, and then any other sports documentaries that we want to watch. Untold.
I love the Untold.
Johnny Manziel, Untold.
I love those.
I love them because it's content, but at the same time, I just feel like it's really bad. Like it's
the quality. You're talking about the quality of the documentary?
I'm thinking how they like. It's just very clearly a narrative, and not, like the Johnny football one was just. The narrative was like, let's try to make Johnny kind of look like a good person again. And they didn't, which I get that you have to work with the university to get rights to like the football games. Yeah. But there was like, I wanted to see the games.
I love that. I asked him to be my next child's godfather after watching that. He was renewed in my mind.
It's an awful take. He looked awful in that documentary.
Yeah, he did. And then there's like the scenes where he's like, yeah, I'm a changed man. And then it flips to him and he's, smoking illegal things and drinking high noons, and you're like
taking shots with his buddies.
Yeah. Either that's a conversion for you, is that's what you're doing now, or
that's the chill version.
We still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about the first time that you were obsessed with a show and you couldn't stop watching it.
24. Oh, 24. Jack Bauer with my mom.
Really? I remember watching it.
Mother-son bonding.
That's literally what we did, is like every night we'd get home, we'd eat dinner after school or whatever, and then probably like 7 p.m. we'd watch 2 to 3 to 4 episodes of.
You can't
24.
watch just one.
No, you can't. You can't, because
it's crazy.
It's probably the greatest cliffhanger show of all time.
It's like they invented cliffhangers.
Clip that quote.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and then it does the countdown. Remember the countdown?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. It's so good. I remember it was on Netflix for whenever I was in high school, and I just got my new iPod Touch, and just every night in bed, I would watch 24 from like 10 p.m.
Your arms cramping.
No, because you like you hold it with the arm that's like touching the mattress, right? And you rest your hand up because you want it to be ergonomic on the pillow. Yeah. And I would stay up to like 2 a.m. because I couldn't just watch one. I'd be like, I gotta know what happens next.
When you first discovered how addicting TV shows were, that was like the first addiction I ever experienced. Like Friday Night Lights, it was like I cannot turn it off.
Mm-hmm. I never watched the Friday Night Lights TV show.
You never watched it?
So I watched the movie.
You're from Texas and
I
played high school football and you never watched Friday Night Lights?
Here's the thing. I remember I started watching it.
Is it a culture thing?
It's a culture thing? No. Okay. Well, kind of. I started watching it and I loved it. I was so into it, and I would watch it in our living room. And my dad had his office set up in the living room, which was like a weird choice in my opinion. But I was, just an edgy, angsty teenager, and my dad saw it, and my dad played football growing up too. Funny enough, in Mexico, he played football. And he was like, this is wonderful. We need to watch this together as a family. And I'm like,
No
I don't want to
way.
watch this as a family. I want to binge this show.
Right.
And so he's like, no, we need to watch an episode a week as a family. And no one else in my family likes football.
Yeah.
No one else. Yeah. And it was just a pain. And it ruined the show for me. I never watched it because of that. I just remember, what was his name? Tim Riggins?
Oh, Tim Riggins.
Yeah.
He
never made it past the first season.
I loved it because, one, I never played football, so I could vicariously live through Matt Sayerson, Smash Williams, Tim Riggins. I also, struggled with women in high school, and so I could live vicariously through Tim Riggins being extremely attractive and getting all the ladies when I couldn't. And we also couldn't grow our hair out in high school, so that was another opportunity to live vicariously through him.
That's interesting. Private school thing.
What was your show? High school, college?
High school was 24. 24, I think, was like my first, like,
entryway.
This is for me.
Yeah.
This is my show.
This has been created with me in mind.
Yes. Which I think it had been like created already. Like, I think the show was done.
What's the series?
Yeah.
What's the series count on 24? Is it one of those like 20 seasons?
No, I think there were like
seasons?
6 or 7 seasons with 24 episodes. Each
There's
episode
only so
covers an
much
hour.
you can do with a theme like that.
I mean, it's just every season's like, hey, new terrorist org just popped up. Jack Bauer's going to save the world.
It's like the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
Like the plot
Not as
lines
crazy.
keep getting more.
No, I
and
think
more.
Fast and Furious is now in space.
Fast and Furious 9 was like, there is an outer space alien who is partnered with a Mexican cartel to take over the entire North American treaty
Vin Diesel from
organization.
having family barbecues. So 24 was like my first personal love. But I do remember coming home, I think I was maybe a freshman or sophomore in high school, and my sister's watching a show called Gossip Girl. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Of course.
It just pulled me in. I remember I would go, so in our living room, we had like desks. It's a weird living room that I'm explaining.
Can we talk about
It was an office.
your dad's office? Everyone has a desk.
The living room was just 3 couches, a TV, and then behind the couches we just had desks.
For homework?
We had 2 desks. One was my dad's like personal, his office. He didn't work from home, but he would do work when he was home or things like that. And the other one was for us to use, just for homework, stuff like that.
Like one for each kid?
No, just one.
2 desks.
Yeah, one for him and then one for the kids.
Wow.
And that's where we had our family computer as well.
Yeah, that's that's a whole culture, is the family computer in the living room.
Yeah,
that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
I would love it to be, just
family
for
computer.
Protection for the kiddos.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was sucked into Gossip Girl. Like, and I would purposely like do my homework in the living room so I could kind of keep an eye out. Because I was embarrassed to watch Gossip Girl in high school. Yeah.
Is it rom-com?
No, it's. I would not recommend this show to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it is awful.
Except for yourself?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. Like, it is a bad show about bad themes, about high schoolers in Upper East Side New York being mega rich and doing awful things.
Yeah.
But as a freshman in high school, I was like, wait, what's going on over there? So that was another show that like truly sucked me in.
Yeah.
And I was so into like what was happening and waiting every week for another episode, which is a crazy thing that I feel like we don't do anymore, right?
Waiting for the next
Yeah.
episode.
When was the last time you felt like you waited for an episode?
Never.
Well, Reagan and I, my wife and I were just talking about this because Taylor Swift just announced a new docuseries, and she's releasing it every week. Like
on Netflix?
On whatever, I don't even know what she's releasing it on, but it's like some 6-episode thing, and it's like one coming out every week. And she was like, nobody does that anymore. I was like, yeah, they do. And then we started thinking about all the shows that we watch. And it's like the SEC show I was talking about, they just release them all at once, which I kind of don't, there's something about that anticipation, and also like people used to say, I can't do anything Wednesday nights because that's when my show comes
Bachelor
out.
is.
The Golden Bachelor,
It's interesting because I feel like, and this may be a hot take, but TV has gotten significantly worse in the last 10 to 15 years, particularly TV shows.
Yeah.
So think about The Office, made in the early 2000s.
Great show.
Our generation, we're kind of like right on that weird edge of millennial, Gen Z, not sure where we fit, got one foot in each. Our generation above us loved The Office. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
In terms of production, in terms of content, the way that it spoke to a broader audience, genius.
Yep.
I mean, truly artistic. Now, there were some things in there that you probably can't say on television.
Yeah.
We could quote some episodes, which we're probably not going to. We could quote some episodes that couldn't fly right now. But now in the fast food, like streaming generation, where you log on Netflix, there's 15 shows that just came out that week. And it's just trash. Mm-hmm. The quality's trash. So even like a show like Severance, which a ton of guys that we're friends with are obsessed with, like me and Clayton got a bunch of college buddies that just love the show. That's now like 1 out of every 400 TV shows is actually engaging you, allowing you to think about something deeper. Most of it is just, it's fast food. It's a McDouble for 9 episodes straight. And then there's another season, that's the McChicken. And then there's the third season, that's the McValue menu. Which and it's just not good content.
But hey, sometimes fast food's all right.
It suffices to fill the void, but you don't leave that show and think, my brain is better because of this. Which that's where I would kind of differentiate good TV, quality TV, something worth watching versus something that's just a total waste of time. Gossip Girl, potentially.
Absolutely, Gossip Girl.
And so the take that fast food, like that's actually what you want is just, it's just horrible.
I'm not saying it's what I want. And this is kind of going back to like, what's the line of too much TV, right? If, you know. And
I think they've made it easier for us to overindulge.
Sure, because there are times when it's like, oh, I don't want to start something heavy. Mm-hmm. You know, I just want to watch something quick that I don't really have to pay attention to, which does bring up the question of like, though, why am I even watching it in the first place? Yeah. Absolutely. And hey, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of sometimes I just put on that fast food show because I know it doesn't matter if I miss parts of it or not. And which ties into the whole like social media, attention spans, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's like, what's the line? Is it okay for me to put that on?
I don't know if you were making an argument earlier that The Office is good for your brain. You said TV is not what it used to be, like The Office.
I think I would say that The Office is good for your brain.
Go on.
Here's why. They're valuable life lessons. The value of working together in an environment where you don't like the people that you work with. To quote the prophet, Michael Scott, why are you the way that you are? We all feel that in our day-to-day life. I look at Jose and I think that.
No.
Why are you the way that you are?
I'm not your Toby.
No, but there's these moments.
You're my Phyllis.
Go ahead.
The reason that so many people connected with it is because they watch it and they're like, that's so cringy. But I've actually been in that exact same type of situation where a friend's doing something ridiculous, like putting together a 5K for rabies.
Yeah, we have that around the office here. You know?
I think there's something, even though maybe it doesn't raise your intellectual capacity, there's still a value in watching a show that you're like, I connect with this.
Well, I think something particular about The Office is that it's just so funny. Like it's a show that you can turn on and just kind of turn your mind off for a little bit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You don't want to be escaping for a long time into 8 episodes of The Office or escaping for a long time on a doom scroll on, YouTube Shorts or whatever. But sometimes you've had maybe a long work day, or you just need a break for a little bit and you don't want to watch anything heavy like you're saying, Jose. So you turn on something that is somewhat wholesome, really funny, But I think to your point, John Michael, is that there's a lot of shows that are coming out where it's just like you were pumping these shows out so quickly. Where are you getting these actors from?
I was literally just thinking, where are you getting the actors? Who's writing this? How are you filming it to where you could pump out?
Where do I apply? What's the pay like?
This could be our moment. I think you're right. The other thing that we haven't touched on is how YouTube has changed the TV world. I get onto YouTube more than I watch television. Mm-hmm. And we used to think like, oh, there's YouTube and then there's television. Those are 2 different things.
Yeah, they don't even cross.
Now, I watch most of
I've watched whole movies through YouTube Shorts.
It's just like one scene after another. We should do that for the podcast. Make the whole hour-long thing just 30-second shorts.
Or add Subway Surfer.
But like the documentaries on YouTube, some of them are way better.
Yeah. Quality.
Storytelling, quality, artistic rendering than anything on Netflix.
So what does the future hold for streaming services, right? Like we're talking in the fast food, right? The having to pay for so many different services. We haven't even touched on the fact that now you pay for service and now they're charging you extra to not have ads on that
horrible.
service, which is the worst crime I think humanity has ever committed.
It's like I buy a McDouble and then they go, you're going to have to pay me to give that to you after you just paid me for the food.
Yes, that's exactly it. Where do we go from here for streaming services, right? Growing up, we had SpongeBob. We had Stuart Scott on Sports Centers, right? Our parents had the news on at night, every single night. It was just, there was something going on. And now it's like we have 1 or 2 shows that we want to watch, and each of these platforms costs $20.
Let's hit them where it hurts.
Cut the cord.
Cut the cord, right?
Let's hit them where it hurts.
We protest with our wallets.
Yeah, right.
But it's absolutely insane. So what does the future hold? Is it, like, do you guys feel like it's easier or harder to watch sports? We're not even talking about TV, just talking about sports.
I don't even know what service the A&M game's on.
Yeah.
When before it was just, it's channel 11 CBS, it's channel 8 ABC, it's NBC channel 5, or it's 420 ESPN. If it's not one of those,
it's not on.
it's not on.
See, and I don't want to make it seem like we're sponsored by YouTube TV, but that's actually the whole reason why I got YouTube TV.
I love it.
Is because I know that every game's going to be on there.
Yeah.
College football from August till January, and then golf from January till August.
I think the future of streaming service is going to be one of 2 things. Either some sort of monopoly-based system. So YouTube TV, for example, goes in and they say, hey, we're going to buy Disney Plus. Probably not Prime Video.
It's going to be the mouse that buys everything.
The mouse?
Disney.
Oh, Disney. Well, Disney owns ESPN now.
Yeah. Fox,
Fox.
right?
Wow.
Do they?
I think they own Fox. I don't know.
It'd be spicy
it's
politically.
They're starting to bring like the X-Men that's by Fox back into the MCU, so I think they own Fox. Or they have some deal with Fox.
Yeah. So I think either you go to a monopoly.
They have Hulu.
You're going to go to a monopoly-based system where these kind of merge and they're all either owned by the same person or they just merge into the same service.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, they have us by the throats because they know that we want to watch the game. And so if you're the company, you're saying, I could either have him pay $20 for one service, or I could spread it across 3 potential different services and make this much money.
And that's the only option is for you to pay $70.
Right. So maybe it's just
Do you guys remember life before streaming?
Bowl of cereal in the morning before school.
No sin in the world.
Yeah.
before the fall.
Yeah.
Remotes were large. You could find them anywhere.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't lose them. You could just LimeWire a show till you were caught up with real time.
It looked
and
like
pray
you were
for your life that you wouldn't destroy your family's computer and finances and potentially dox them through viruses. Right? You don't have to fight tooth and nail with your siblings for remotes anymore. Like that was a character building moment.
Mm-hmm.
You had a satellite in your backyard that was big enough to potentially call an astronaut down from space.
Just beam him down.
So the house that we just bought, they have their old DirecTV satellites still on the roof.
That's funny.
And I look at them in the backyard. I'm like, I can't believe that used to be acceptable.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Do they do anything anymore?
No, they don't. But they're drilled into the wall,
Is
and
that
they're
how
very high
the
up.
government keeps tabs on you?
I thought that's how you get cable.
Well, it was. Yeah.
Well,
but
it
I'm
still
saying,
is, right?
No. Well, yes.
Was cable still-
But does
do
cable
people-
even exist anymore?
It does
Well,
exist.
I was visiting my aunt the other day, and she said they use cable. She said, "Have you seen this commercial? It's on Channel 4." And I said, first of all, what even is cable? Second of all, Channel 4.
What's a
When was the
channel?
last time you heard about a channel?
Right.
You know channels.
Right.
Yeah. So going back to life before streaming services, it was glorious. You would wait every week for a new episode. What are some shows that you guys watched growing up that you just absolutely loved talking about throughout the week as you waited episode per episode? You would talk to your friends about it. You would think of theories of what was happening next. Do you guys have any shows like that?
I don't really do. I mean, I mentioned 24 at the beginning.
But
Lost
I
was
binged
another big
24.
one. Yeah.
Did you watch Lost like live as it was coming out?
No. Lost was after my mom and I were done with 24. We watched Lost together because we just had so much fun watching it together that Lost was the new thing. But I didn't really I don't know. I didn't like engage with my friends really about the shows that we watched. Did you?
We were not allowed to watch a lot of television in the Lucido house until my parents gave up when I was about, I don't know, 5th grade. Like your parents, you hold the line on something, and then at some point you're just like,
whatever.
Who cares? They can have Fruity Pebbles. I just don't care anymore. So about 5th grade that happened, which was when I was like a little past kind of the Cartoon Network, Disney Channel phase. But since I never got that, I would say I was TV developmentally delayed. Like everyone else was watching, MTV, and I was still locked into
You were just watching Kids Next Door.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I'm going to the 8th grade, and I'm like, guys, have you seen Fairly Odd Parents? This show is amazing.
This Timmy Turner kid is crazy.
So I did get a little made fun of for that. I think the one that we were really into, my parents were crime show fans. So we did watch a lot of
NCIS,
CSI Las Vegas, CSI LA, CSI Chicago, CSI
Do
Wichita.
Have everyone for every
CSI CSI Philadelphia, CSI
Some of those
Harrisburg.
have to be better than others. Like totally different themes, really.
For sure.
We have a kid speeding in this week's episode.
CSI
So they loved crime shows. So that was kind of something that we did. Actually, it reminded me, my wife just sent me this YouTube short, and it's a housewife YouTube short.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know why I'm so depressed all the time. And then it flips to her, and she's like, I just finished 3 hours of a true crime podcast.
So true.
It's just kind of fun. Shows are depressing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, for me, the big one was The Walking Dead. Do you guys remember that show?
That show was a cult fanatic.
Yes, it was awesome.
I remember in high school, like that was the talk of the town.
I remember
Breaking Bad, Walking Dead,
Walking Dead, and I think Game of Thrones was like, those are the three I feel like cultural phenoms that we've seen, at least in our
growing up. Were those streaming
up.
service, or were those?
I don't know.
I think Breaking Bad started on what?
I think
AMC?
they were all. I think AMC was Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, and HBO was Game of Thrones. But I don't remember if it was on TV or not. I just remember every Sunday waiting for the new Walking Dead episode.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it came on like 6 or 7 p.m. and season 3 or season 2 or something, you discover that everyone already has the virus, but you only turn to a zombie after you die.
Did
so
you
quick
scream?
Spoiler alert.
Were you
no,
just
but we just remember. I remember talking to my friends of like, what's gonna happen? Because they had kind of like teased it up where the first season they went to like the CDC, and it was just amazing. Like we would talk about these shows at school every day. Like, oh my gosh, did you see it? Right, and it was the worst if you hadn't watched it. Like if your family was traveling or your family was watching something else, right? My dad wanted to watch the big NFL game, Friday Night Lights, and I wanted to watch The Walking Dead. And you just can't talk the next day at school, right? And you're just covering your ears like for spoiler alerts. When spoiler alerts were like a real thing in person,
that's
and
actually
online.
That's actually a really good point. Why streaming services have killed quality television is the aspect of families watching things together.
It's true.
So now in the streaming world, you got a family of 5. Your 5-year-old is watching Bluey on the iPad in his room. Your 12-year-old's watching Gossip Girl on
Hopefully
Netflix.
not Gossip Girl. No.
Your 12-year-old, not mine. And then your 16-year-old's watching the new ESPN game. Dad's watching the show he likes on Netflix. You could be watching 5 different things in 5 different rooms without each other. Where with the old television, like it was actually, there was a communal family aspect to watching something with your mom. It just doesn't exist anymore.
And you would talk about it. You get excited about what's just happened or what's coming next. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about our YouTube TV, shared
experience,
potluck, if you will.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, dude, it's so crazy. You can only like have 5 shared screens in one household. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, just that's all you need.
That's crazy.
Do you guys have TVs in your family living room? Are you kind of anti-communal TV?
No, I actually think you guys got hit with the brunt of the wave of, young married couples. Take the TV
idealistic.
out. Yeah. So I'd love for you guys to speak into it. Me just getting recently married, I think we skip that and we just have it. We don't have it on the mantle.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But we just have the TV out
on like little bookshelf or something like that.
Yeah. A little entertainment center.
Yeah, we were pretty idealistic as a family first 4 years of marriage. I actually, first 2 years of marriage, we didn't own a TV at all.
Gosh.
But I would get mad because we'd be watching the A&M game on the laptop. I was like, I can't see anything. I'm sure as heck not going to buy a television.
Going to you and Emily's apartment in Lawrence, Kansas, and we're really excited for the game. And I remember I showed up and there was no TV, and I was like, "What? Where are we watching? Like, are we going somewhere? Is there like the community pool at this apartment complex and TV? Like, what's going on?" And then you're like, "No, dude, don't worry, I'll get the TV. It's in the closet." And so I'm like, kind of sitting like, that's the first time I heard of someone not having TV in the living room.
Yeah.
But I remember you go to the closet and you come back with like the smallest TV. It was like my computer monitor. And we put it in the middle and we were all like squinting, just like.
One of the college guys.
Oh, I think we scored.
I brought it out for a movie night and he goes, "Dude, why'd you bring out a computer monitor?" It was like 30 inches. I bought it for $25 at the pawn shop. For sure stolen.
At that point, let's just all watch it on our phones together.
High-fiving each other. So we did that for, 4 or 5 years. And when we moved to Denver, actually, a good friend of ours, Vince Sartori, executive producer of the All In podcast, he was our colleague, and he was giving us junk about Pitt. He's a big Pitt fan. And Pitt was playing that night against Clemson. And it was like, we had just moved into the house, just bought my first house. And I was like, I need a TV. So I went to Best Buy.
So you bought your first house before you bought your first TV?
Bought 100%.
Wow.
I mean, besides the $25 pawn shop stolen TV. So I went that night, bought a TV. Frankly, should have talked it over with the wife. Did buy about a 60-inch, and it did not.
It was like 43. Because
I remember somewhere between 43 and 80.
You bought the TV and you were like, "Come over, watch the game. I'm so excited. I got this brand new TV."
We're 5 years and then I went over. 43 is a big jump.
I went over there. And it was just like
it's just small.
It was still kind of.
It was a good deal.
Now, the funnier thing is that now you have the frame TV.
Wow.
So we did buy the Samsung frame TV. It's big in the, I don't know if you want to say kind of the Catholic anti-TV world, because it's kind of a hack. It's like the person that says, I'm gluten-free, but then they still eat a ton of gluten-free muffins and desserts and things like that.
Yeah.
That's us. It's like we're anti-TV. We don't even have one in our living room. It's actually just a picture. Wait a minute, it's the A&M game. Gotcha.
In a really nice gold frame.
So we bought it on Prime Day. The funny part is,
but you guys don't even have it.
I know. That's the thing is, you're supposed to have it hung up so it looks like a picture, but I'm just so lazy that it just sits on a shelf so it doesn't look like a picture.
It's defeating the whole purpose of the frame.
I have a Rembrandt painting on top of my kid's, toy shelf. It's nice.
I'm sure it's nice. It's just really nice. I feel like you're defeating the whole purpose by 100%. It up.
You can buy, the cool thing is you can buy Etsy like digital paintings for it. So we bought some.
Oh, you have to buy art for it? You have to subscribe for the art?
No, they have kind of.
You buy a $2,000 TV and then you have to pay monthly.
It's like streaming services.
Yeah.
You pay all this money and then ads.
Okay, what's the most outrageous like subscription-based thing you've heard of?
Factor.
What's Factor?
Those meals. The healthy delivered straight to your house meals.
Oh,
it's like $350 for a week or something like crazy like that.
Wow.
And people pay a ton of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, if I was filthy rich, sure.
Factor, please.
Yeah, I don't know.
My craziest one, it happened this past football season. Mm-hmm. I went to an Auburn game, and I forget what it's called. It's called like War Eagle Plus. And you can subscribe for a monthly. I didn't even look at the pricing. It pissed me off so much. You can subscribe for like $30 a month to get discounts for concessions at the game.
Interesting.
That's ridiculous.
And so instead of paying $15 for a water bottle, you're now going to pay $10. But
with the subscription.
With the subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still overpaying for a water bottle and you're paying $30 a month on top of it. So I don't know who actually does it, but just the fact that they had the gumption to release that
they'll never know. They'll never know.
Oh man, it almost made me want to dislike Auburn.
Do you not?
No, I love Auburn. I had a wonderful time. Great game day experience. Yeah. That's for a different episode.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is John Michael Lucido, and I am the main host of the All In podcast, brought to you by Focus. And I just want to take a second to personally invite you to join us at Seek Seek 26. Seek 26, January the 1st through January 5th. We are going to be in 3 locations. That's how big Seek has gotten. I'm going to be the main stage MC hosting our conference in Columbus, Ohio. Our other main hosts of the podcast, Jose and Clayton, will be down in Fort Worth, Texas, and then we'll have our 3rd location in Denver, Colorado. January the 1st through January 5th. You are not going to want to miss this. The link to register is in the description. Can't wait to see you guys. Let's go all in on Seek 26.
Something we haven't really hit on as much is just the I get a little bit at the beginning, but the quality of television shows. You know, the number 1 show in the 1960s, you know what it was?
Is this a real thing, or is
this is a real thing? Life is Worth Living. Do you know who's by?
Kid Cudi.
Blessed Fulton Sheen. The
No
bishop,
way.
Archbishop.
The Archbishop.
He had a TV show?
Yes, he had a TV show that was like, I mean, I don't even know how many seasons long, but...
Is it like similar to like that guy with the red sweater? What was his name? Your friendly neighbor.
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Is it kind of like that?
No, he had a show called Life is Worth Living that came on every single week. And he just talked about something in regards to, I don't know, theology, philosophy, something in regards to virtue, family life. And he just like had a whiteboard or a chalkboard and would just teach. And what Blessed Fulton Sheen is known for is he's a really great, what's the word? I mean, speaker, I guess would be another word to use.
Teacher?
Orator.
Communicator.
Orator.
Dude that's what I was looking for.
Gifted.
Yeah. And so literally it was the number 1 show for, I don't know how long, but at least for a time. He won all sorts of awards for what he was doing. And there's just not really, the hardest thing I think is, you know, you set all the subscription things aside and it's just like, I just want to find a show that's wholesome, that has a great storyline, that has a great cliffhanger. There's nothing sexual in the show.
Did Fulton Sheen have a lot of cliffhangers?
Probably. It's the number 1 show, so it had to. You know, but I think the worst part is like if you find, this has happened to my wife and I numerous times where we're like, we kind of want to have a show that we get into, and it's like you get, honestly, Apple TV is the worst culprit of this, where you get like 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes into a show and everything's clean, and then all of a sudden it turns, you know, raunchy and things are just like, I just can't watch this.
Some would say that they lasso you in.
Yeah.
You get
Some would say that.
Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
Some would say that they ped you in.
I thought.
Okay, but to your point,
Yeah.
what do you think's changed? Like, what makes a TV show good, and why is that not there anymore?
Well, I mean, everything that I just named makes a TV show good, is that you want to have, like a lot of the TV shows that we named earlier, like 24, maybe that's not, you know, the cleanest show ever. Well, I guess I mean,
all there is just...
It's not unclean necessarily.
Saving the world. I don't know what's wrong with that, Clayton.
Jesus, Jack Bauer, both saved the world.
Yeah.
In different ways.
There's just, I mean, you want to have a storyline that you can connect with and get into. Actually, a show that a lot of people got into while we were in college was This Is Us.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that
Quality.
show?
That was great for the first 2 seasons.
That was a show,
Quality.
I didn't think of that earlier. That was a show that everyone was like waiting for the next episode.
Your wife, I remember.
I mean, your wife, I think, got all of us into that.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, was it Wednesday night at her house? People would gather
Watch party,
and watch
like
it.
50 people.
I've been told many times that I favor the most attractive guy on This Is Us, Jack.
The dad?
You do look just like him.
I don't know about just, but similar.
Like exactly like him. Yeah. 6'4".
I've never seen you guys in the same room.
About a 10 out of a 10. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some other good TV shows?
Wholesome.
Yeah, just like that describe what we were talking about.
Let me tell you about this movie I just watched. Not a TV show, but a great movie. You guys know who
movies
Sebastian Maniscalco is?
I'm gonna
think about him all the
Do
time.
you think I know who that is?
He's a great comedian, but he has this movie called About My Father. And it's like he's getting married to this girl, and his Italian father needs to meet the family first. And so the father goes on this family vacation with his son's future wife's family that's ultra wealthy. And the whole arc of the movie, you know, a lot of these like a rom-com is about the story between the man and woman, you know, and it's like the arc of their relationship. Well, the arc of this whole movie was the father-son relationship. It was super funny. It was super clean. And then what was amazing was just that there was this great father-son like reconciliation moment in the movie, and the way that they did it was they were trying to make it almost seem like a like a romance reconciliation moment, like stop the plane, and then the dad gets out. And so anyways, Reagan and I watched it and we're like, this was an amazing movie, because a lot of these, like, it's not you could kind of call it a rom-com, but it's not necessarily about the romance, but it was clean, it was funny, it had a great storyline, had a great climactic moment in the movie, and it was like one of those movies where you're done with it and you're like, I'm glad I watched that. What do you got?
Peanut Butter Falcon.
That movie's so good.
With starring Padre Pio.
Yeah.
AKA Shia LaBeouf. So I love it. We've talked on the podcast about my son Judah, who has Down syndrome. I call him Peanut Butter Falcon, PBF for short, when we're wrestling. He says, Dad, body slam. And then he just launches. One of the reasons I love it though is because it's one of the only movies I've found that portrays in a humorous way what someone with a disability is like. Which there's a lot of great movies about, kind of this very serious, emotional, what they do for you. But it's important to recognize that, people with a disability like my son are like the coolest, greatest, funniest people in the world. And Peanut Butter Falcon just nails it. And then there's great storylines. Shia LaBeouf, Padre Pio, has his conversion, not to the Catholic Church, that happens at another time, but just to being a better man through that movie. And it's just great. It's just great.
One of my absolute favorite movies is Interstellar, which I know is like a classic guy thing to have, like all Christopher Nolan's in your top 5. But I think this hits a lot of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, I do like space. I do like the idea of like time dilation and
Matthew McConaughey
and Hathaway. Great cast, right? All these things are awesome. But this like just stuck with me for so long. And I've prayed with it. I've like really sat with the whole thing. I don't know if you guys have watched the movie.
Multiple times. Is the fifth dimension.
Yes. Yeah. Which, great soundtrack, by the way. Hans Zimmer.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely great soundtrack. But it's at the end of the movie when Matthew McConaughey comes back and he's reunited with his daughter, who's now an old lady. And he gets to see her on her deathbed and he's crying. He's like, nobody believed in me. And she's like, no, the daughter's saying, nobody believed me that you were still out there. And he says, like, how did you know? Like, how did you know it was me that was poking your books on the bookshelf, right?
Yeah.
And she just looks at him and he goes, because my dad promised me. And like that line just has always like stuck with me. I don't know why. But I'm like, that's going back to your point, right? Of like, it's a movie that like, sure, it has a lot of things in it. But at the end of the day, it just made me think. It made me reflect, right? And that had to do a lot with my own personal things, like issues with my dad, our relationship, and like going back to like, would I believe my dad? And it made me think a lot. But it was just an amazing movie that just really hit home. And I remember watching that scene, like, why is this in here? And I was like tearing up in theaters, you know? But do you guys have any movies like that have just like absolutely cut to the core?
I want to answer that question, but I did want to highlight something you said kind of offhand that I thought was hilarious, which is you said like saying that Christopher Nolan movies are, your favorite movies is like the worst white guy take of all time. Yeah. It's so true. You ask any like 25 to 35 and they're like, yeah, dude, I'm like super into movies. I would consider myself kind of a connoisseur. Like Dark Knight, #1. Totally love that. Dark Knight Rises, #2.
Batman Begins, people sleep on that one.
Just incredible cinematography, storylines out of this world. Gotta put probably, not a lot of people know about this one, but that one where, the guy, Christian Bale, he's playing like 2 different people and, it's just crazy. No one knows about it. It's like one of his least known movies. It's just like the worst.
Inception, to round that off.
Inception. That you talk about a guy who doesn't know ball but tries to pretend like it. That's the guy who doesn't know movies but pretends like he does.
Yeah.
Is Christopher Nolan's my favorite producer.
Okay, you know another one. I want to hear y'all's answer for like another movie that cut to the core, but another one that I think falls into that category, but it's actually still one of my favorite movies of all time, is Shawshank Redemption.
100.
What a good movie.
We got the poster in here somewhere. Oh yeah, right here
there
behind me.
What a good movie. And it just kind of makes you reflect on so many things about life. Because I'm like, there's
Going
no
to prison.
Yeah, I mean, we've all done that, right?
It's just crazy that Nelson Mandela was imprisoned in America and got to walk with a young man through that experience.
Okay, so quickly, just what's a movie or show that has completely like cut through everything and just like struck you? And then from there,
cried, or just
you don't have to cry. I'm not a crier, right? I said it was bawling tears. I wasn't bawling, but you know, Marley and me, I teared up. But
okay, speaking of crying, the Interstellar scene where Matthew McConaughey is crying, like the cry
when
where
he's watching
the videos, one of the best crying scenes in every movie of all time, in my opinion. Yeah, ugly
He
crying.
gets so
like,
violent,
how do you do
yeah.
that? What are you thinking about in your mind?
Yeah,
you know.
The last one that really got me was, and this is not meant to be political by any means, but Hillbilly Elegy. So that's J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance. He wrote a book. They made it into a movie. And, you know, don't want to dive into whatever's happening with, you know, current events and stuff like that. But you got to look at the man and just recognize where he's been. So if you don't know the story, basically born to a drug addict mother who treated him very, very poorly. And the movie just kind of chronicles their life growing up in rural, poor, kind of Appalachia, Kentucky, Ohio. And it blew me away because there's all these scenes of him coming back. He's a law student at Yale, and him coming back to take care of his mother, who treated him poorly when he was younger, who was a drug addict. And he's kind of sacrificing this premier life, Yale Law School, you know, public career, all these things. And so it just made me reflect on, you know, as we get older, our parents get older, what's our role in being there for them, taking care of them, loving them, walking with them through those parts of their life as they get older. And that's just profound. Emily and I, we just loved it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to the About My Father movie here real
Awesome.
quick. And so a minor spoiler, I guess, but the reconciliation scene at the end of the movie is basically Sebastian Maniscalco, great comedian, approaching his father. He gets off the plane and he goes to tell his dad. There's all these things that he's upset with his dad about, you know, and ways in which he wishes his dad were different, and ways in which he wishes that he wants to do things differently than his dad. And they get in this big argument, and then finally they have this reconciliation moment, and they get off the plane and they're talking, and he's basically expressing gratitude to his father for all the things that he hasn't been grateful for in his life. He's like, the reason that, you know, my future wife loves me is because I'm the same as you. Is because there's so many, you know, the way that I think, the way that I do things, all of my mannerisms, the way that I see family life, all of those things are within me because they've come from you. And I think that, you know, just growing up, the reason that this movie struck me, and my wife and I were both, tearing up, crying when we were watching the scene, is because you grow up, you start your own family, and you think about, you know, all the ways in which you're grateful for your parents and what they gave you when you were a kid. But there's also a lot of, you know, you get to be a parent, you're like, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to do things my way. You know, they messed up in all these ways, you know. And there was just a moment, you know, watching that movie where I was struck with a deeper sense of gratitude for my family, you know. And that was just a really, you know, powerful moment. Is like, yeah, you know, the way that I am is because of my dad. Yeah. You know, the way that I think, the way I live is because of my dad. And we got to, you know, there might be, you know, tension in that relationship or frustrations, but you have to be grateful for what has come to you from your family.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We, you know, reflecting back on like the quote of like, because my dad promised me.
Yeah.
Right. From Interstellar. It was a lot of the same thoughts of like, you know, why don't I trust my dad sometimes? Like, my dad's a great person. He did the best he could with what he had. Mm-hmm. And having to reflect on like, well, what are some of the things that I want to take away from that? And what are some things that I don't want to take away from that. And it's funny, no one prepared me for how much your perception of movies as you watch them changes when you have kids.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched Fantastic Four First Steps this past year, which is like it's a good, fun movie. There's nothing like too deep, but all of a sudden, I watched it like a week before my son was born, and I'm like moved so deeply. I'm like, what is going on now? Maybe it's because it was my first, movie right before I had my kid, or my last movie right before, and it has to do with a baby. But I was like, no one prepared me for how much I'm going to be moved now that I have a family.
That's so funny.
Which was great. Okay. So quickly, I think we could do a quick Mount Rushmore of TV show or movies that everyone has to watch. And I think we do a collective one.
Are we going 5?
4.
4. One each?
It's a Mount Rushmore. One each, and then one that I think all agree on, which we right off the bat, right? Kobe Bryant's short film that won an Oscar, Dear Basketball.
Yeah, what was it called? Dear Basketball.
Dear Basketball, right.
A cinematic masterpiece.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And Kobe always has to be on our Mount Rushmore.
I think he has to, right?
I mean, he was on our best fathers Mount Rushmore. He was on our best artists Mount Rushmore.
I mean, he was an artist of the game.
That's
basketball's art. All right, what would you put on there? You could put one thing on there. I know it's a lot of pressure. This won't be held against you, but what would you put on there?
I'm gonna put Tenet. I'm gonna put Tenet on there.
No! Why
Is it gonna be Christopher Nolan movies on here?
It's one of those movies that you just have to watch.
Dude, you
once
have
in
to
your
watch
lifetime.
twice. You got to watch it twice. I watched it the first
You
time.
have to watch it, and then you have to watch it backwards.
It's one of those movies where like you feel like you're supposed to like it, but I don't think anybody does.
But then you pretend like you loved it.
Yeah.
Good friend of the show, Joe Moran, loves that movie. Really? I think he watched it like 6 times when it first
Well, you
came out.
have to.
Joe
If
Moran.
you actually love it, you've probably watched it 7 times because it took you that long.
Okay, but what's like a good? What would be your answer? Would it be
I'm
Tenet?
putting Tenet up there. Yeah.
Miracle.
Oh yeah, duh.
It's a great movie.
Miracle.
Yeah.
It is made by Disney. But
Is that a bad thing?
I don't love
You don't like the mouse?
I don't love the mouse. But I mean, as an American,
We're all Americans
there's
here.
a couple of us at the table. It just speaks to you. And you're sitting there, we probably all have Herb Brooks' speech memorized.
Yep.
Actually, one great, quick, hilarious story, and then we need to finish the Rushmore. When we were in college, we all loved the movie Braveheart. and me and Clayton were at Whataburger very late in the evening, early morning even. And Clayton got up in the packed Whataburger at about 1 a.m. and gave the Braveheart speech.
The whole speech.
In the Whataburger. Like there's all these college kids and Clayton stands up at a table and goes, "You may run, at least for a while." It was incredible. We have the video. We have
Crazy.
There's a burger patty flying in midair. It was insane. So yeah, I put Miracle.
Okay.
Tenet, Miracle, Kobe's Dear Basketball short, and then back to you, Jose.
This is a classic white guy take as well, but we haven't talked about it, and I think it at least deserves mentioning in this episode. Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 was awful.
So
that movie
bad.
was so bad. It,
was so
looked
bad.
pretty, yeah, but it was awful.
3.5 hours, and there's just these weird.
It just ended so poorly. But I think the original Gladiator,
For sure.
Talk about another
if it's not
great
in there, it
soundtrack.
would be, yeah. And I think I could do a whole episode on soundtracks, but it's just another movie that has moved me. At the end when he finally is reunited with his family, it's just an amazing scene. The whole movie. Great.
That was kind of a
That's a
basic
mid
white guy.
Yeah, it's a mid pick, but it just had to be mentioned in this episode.
Totally. He's jacked.
Said that is the last.
So
thing I'd
today,
say.
Fascinating.
we covered cable and streaming, whether TV is worth watching, and what makes a movie or TV show good. What do y'all think? How do we balance watching TV, watching too much TV, finding good shows and good movies? So we won't charge you for the ads on our paid streaming platform. So please like, subscribe, and share this episode. This is the All In Podcast.